Hello everybody and welcome to round number 2 of season 3 of the Sunoco Elite Series. We're at a new track today. This season we're replacing Landmark Park for the last 2 seasons. This is Virginia. Not Virginia, what? No, this is New Jersey Motorsports Park. Obviously in New Jersey we have a few hometown heroes today, which there are I believe 3, correct me if I'm wrong, which should be Paul Jackson, who got 3rd in the championship last season. He starts pretty far back in the field along with Aiden Shepard back there. The next one, Tyler Thaber, last week's pole sitter, who sits right ahead of him, is also from New Jersey, as well as last season's rookie of the season, Pinocchio Young, who sits on row 6. But your starting lineup goes something like this. Carson Bowers sits on the pole today. Very strong competitor, as he has been known in the past to get wins. He has 2 under his name, alongside Gerardo Ron scoring his first ever front row. In row 2 we have Max Anderson, still looking for that first career win over 3 seasons now, alongside Adam Vincent, who already has 2 to his name. In row 3, reigning champion Zachary Fitzwater Sr. He's always looked very strong, but winning in the first 4 races is something he hasn't done. He won at Las Vegas last season, though, alongside Alexander Rowe for Maverick GP. He's the only one near the front. In row 4, we have William Brock, the person on the top of the all-time win list. He's known to be the strongest guy out here, alongside Audra Baranowska's, who she did not have a good first weekend. And on row 5, 2 unexpected drivers. We got Roger Ray, who sits in P9. Very strong performance in qualifying out of Roger Ray, another great Sabasport ride. Alongside Benoit Verveen, who got a top 10 last week. No, his teammate PJ Karenko got a top 10 last week, and now Benoit Verveen is, sitting on the outside in row 5. He has a few podiums to his name himself, so he can get another today, and possibly the first win for Trailblazer outside of Mid-Ohio. As we come into these last few corners, these next few corners, you can study this track as we go along. Another few threats to the field. The obvious one from last week, John Arndt. He still looked very strong today. He's starting P11. As we're going to see if John Arndt is able to be as strong as he was last week. Sorry about that interruption. We are back into the last chicane here, as Carson Bowers will lead him down to the green flag at New Jersey. Our first time going to New Jersey. The 3-year veteran in the sport, in Sunoco Elite Series, will lead him down to the green flag. Actually, the first 3 rows are full of 3-time veterans. Green flag is out. Excellent start by Carson Bowers. That's the start you want to get here at New Jersey, because that outside, after the first few corners, the outside starts to dominate. So it's good that Carson Bowers was able to get the lead that early. Seems that everyone's stacking up well as they go down this big straightaway. There's going to be one huge straightaway. They take this corner. This is where the inside does not flourish, and that's where it shows. There goes Vincent. Here comes Rowe. Anderson lost all momentum. He was able to slip back into line in P4. Right now, Carson Bowers leading out front. Gerardo Ron sitting 2nd. Vincent sitting 3rd. Anderson drops to 4th, and Alexander Rowe sits 5th. Good performance so far at a row. Fitzwater and Brock battling together back here. These two are the 2 fan favorites who are being tailed by a few underdogs in this. Audra Baranowska is the rookie female. Roger Ray, Benoit Verveen, Pinocchio Young. All these guys very much underdogs, and all being tailed by Nick Pericles. And maybe soon to be John Arndt if he can get around Darren Weber. He's trying the outside, doesn't look like it's going to work. And now here comes PJ Karenko and teammate Jeffrey Finguy. Oh, a little squirrely out of John Arndt. There's teammate Jeffrey Finguy getting ahead. as we are through lap 1 of 23. Carson Bauer sits out front. Gerardo Ron made a little mistake, and this is letting Carson Bowers get away. There's Vincent now slipping into second. Anderson slips into third, and Gerard is able to correct himself back into P4. Now Vincent's going to lead this pack. Vincent's been known to be one of the strongest people. He won back at Lime Rock Park in Season 1 under Team Flame Racing. After that, he got his ride at WBM, and he's never looked back. He got a win at Portland last season, and right now he sits P2 here in New Jersey on lap 2. He's being tailed by another 3-time veteran, Max Anderson, another 3-time veteran. We got 3-time veterans all through until we reach Baranowska's and Ray. One of them being 3-time veteran. Young is a 2-time veteran now. Lots of interesting people. PJ Karenko actually sits 6th in points, so this day should be pretty good for a points haul. There is Lorenzo Log, 2nd in points. If he wants to catch points leader William Brock, he has a long ways to go. The closest threat in points to William Brock has got to be these Fitzwater cars at the front. The Fitzwater cars finished in the top 10 together last race. Well, except for Fitzwater, who got 20th. But these two, Anderson and Bowers, both finished within the top 10. And right now, fastest car on track seems to be our leader, Carson Bowers, at a 1:23.346. Then it's Vincent, then it's Anderson, so the top 3 remain the same. But PJ Karenko is the 4th fastest car on track. In that 07 for Trailblazer, he sits P13. He's got to get around Roger Ray next. And then Nick Pericles. Roger Ray is actually battling pretty hard with rank A's Nick Pericles, who got 3rd last race, who fell to 4th because of Lorenzo Log. So 4th in points, Nick Pericles. The other points contender, 3rd in points, is Aiden Shepard, who sits 23rd, working together with Paul Jackson to try to go through the field. Paul Jackson, another bad qualifying for the veteran. Very bad start to the season for him. Got a long ways to go. Roger Ray battling with PJ Karenko. Karenko just got kicked out of Fitzwater, and he's been proving that reasoning wrong. Right now he sits behind all 3 Fitzwater cars, which may be there to prove a point. There's Gerardo Ron. P4, this is still one of his best performances he's ever had, mainly because he was on Trailblazer last season with rank C. Never really got a chance to really perform Season 1. He had that injury at Talladega. Gerardo Ron has been riddled with bad luck, but today he is P4. 1:23.4, not the fastest time. Fastest time still out of the leader. Carson Bowers at a 1:22.2 now. 1:22.9 out of Vincent and 1:22.6 out of Anderson. If Fitzwater Australia Racing can finish 1-2, that's going to retaliate from that meh finish they had last week at Tottering, as their best finisher was, I believe, 7th, which was Max Anderson. Either one of them, because then the one right behind them in 8th place was the other person. There's 7th and 8th. There is Jackson in 23rd. Shepard got himself successfully around Sean Angel, as now his next target is going to be Skylar Johnson, another rookie. Probst got 2-time veteran, skipped the entirety of Season 2, except for Mid-Ohio when he was a one-off driver. He's come back in Season 3. Hasn't really started this season off incredibly strong, as here comes Vance Caldwell on John Arndt. Arndt just is not showing the same speed as he showed last race at Tottering. He's got that outside line, which has been known for being the better line around turn 3, which is coming up. Jeffrey Finguy's slow. He's on the inside line. That's not where you want to be. There goes Arndt past the 95 of Caldwell. Now he's going to slip behind Finguy, try to help Finguy get back to into the rhythm. And because of that, here comes Finguy back on Lorenzo Log. These teammates know how to work together. But right now, I think Arndt's main concern is getting himself to the front. He sat P17 last time around. He's got a long way to go. Highest ranked D at the moment is Roger Ray, performing very well for himself. There seems to be, a very slow time out of Carson Bowers at a 1:23.3 last time around is catching Vincent back to the back of him. 1:22.8 last time around, that's a pretty good time, and Vincent's slowing down. 1:24.3. These guys just cannot seem to get into a rhythm. Drafting just does not work here. There's Alexander Rowe, who seems to be one of the stronger guys out here, who's very fast in practice. Even though it was just a rank B, he seems to be very strong out here today. Trying to defend off reigning champion Zachary Fitzwater as Audrey Baranowska seemed to have got around William Brock. Is now in the 7th position. This begs a question. Is Carson Bowers right now your current points leader? If we finish as we stand, I think so. William Brock just does not seem to have the speed. Here today, he's got to get around Audrey Baranowska's for Scott Ganassi. Here's Benoit Ravine for Trailblazer Motorsports. Trailblazer finished in the top 10 last time, and right now they sit 9th and 11th along with their last member, Sean Angel, who's 22nd. Sean Angel's season hasn't started incredibly well either. But he needs to step it up. Here we go as we head back into. Okay, I thought I saw the pit lane guy waving a flag. That would mean that someone was entering, but nope. These guys are staying about on pace from Carson Bowers. They're about 3 seconds behind. And then it's another almost 4 seconds back to Gerard Aron in P4. He started on the front row. But still, this is an excellent day for Gerard Aron and Culver Haas Racing. Culver Haas Racing, his teammates, Young sits P13, and Eric Monaco sits 23rd. Eric is just also having a terrible day. Here's Shepard as he's dug his way into the top 20 now. But Sean Angel may have something to say about it. He's dug himself so far that he's actually reaching his teammates. John Arndt has one car separating him and Shepard, and then Arndt has one car separating him and Finn Guy as well. The 3-team Flame cars all in the top 20. That's still a decent performance, but they would need to step it up if they want to take Constructors' points lead, which right now goes to Epic Motorsports. The problem with Epic Motorsports is they don't have a single car in the. They have one car in the top 10, and that's Nick Pericles. Where we know where Caldwell is, around 17th place, but where is Lorenzo Log? 14th, so he's a little bit ahead. So right now they're having a decent day, but Fitzwater Australia is having an amazing day, and Andre Baranowskas has gotten around Zachary Fitzwater. So Baranowskas has just taken the 6th position. Carson Bowers running 4/10 faster than the guys behind. They're going to need a lot to catch up to him. This would be career win number 3 if he's able to get this done. Carson Bowers, one of the faster guys out here, has shown a lot of speed in years past, but just has not been able to use that correctly to get a championship. This season may be his season. He's already had one top 10 so far. This would be number 2, Vincent, also having an excellent day. So we're going to be coming up to a few tracks he knows pretty well soon. Portland's going to be one of them, which he's won at before. So watch out for Adam Vincent as we go on early in this championship. And Max Anderson, a podium position right now would still be an excellent day for him, as right now he's turning laps a little bit slower than Carson Bowers, a few hundredths. Gerard Aron has been able to hold on to P4, even with the leering threat of Audrey Baranowskas coming up through the field. Audra Baranowska is now beginning to work on Alexander Rowe as she gets closer and closer to him. And there's Vincent and Anderson. Anderson has been creeping closer and closer to Vincent. How long will it be until Fitzwater Australia gets a 1-2? Looks like today might be their day, and if they do, that's a possible Constructors' points lead, because Epic Motorsports, like I said, is nowhere. WBM is even having a better day. WBM might be in a Constructors' Championship position, even with Paul Jackson having his mediocre day. He's about midfield. There's Shepard still trying to defend from Sean Angel, who has just been hammering on him for the past few laps. As Sean Angel creeps closer and closer. We expect pit stops to happen soon, but we only expect one stop in this race. There's William Brock versus Zachary Fitzwater. Brock's able to stay on Fitzwater's outside. That's going to be a successful move, because that outside line is just so much faster because you get to keep your momentum. Here comes Benoit Verveen. This is going to interrupt Fitzwater Australia's progress, as there goes Benoit Verveen, dropping him to P9, and here's Nick Pericles getting ready to drop him to P10. So that puts Fitzwater Australia battling for the last position in the top 10 with PJ Kringle. This would put two Trailblazers in the top 10, which I don't believe has happened before. Maybe Mid-Ohio, but there it goes. Karenko is now in the top 10. This will be two top 10s in a row for PJ Karenko. Possible good ride for him next season, maybe opening up. Right now, the times are still looking pretty even, as Anderson is your fastest car on track. A few people back here who are running decent times as well. 123.6 out of Carson Bowers, 123.3 out of Vincent, 124.0 out of Anderson. So fastest car on track now seems to be Adam Vincent. Yep, Adam Vincent, your fastest car on track. Starting to speed himself up a little bit. He needs to speed himself up a lot and get to this pit stop close so that he might be able to jump. One problem that a lot of people are worried about in this race is brake issues. It seemed in practice that the brakes just do not like this track. We saw a lot of people having to go into the pits and cool down their brakes. Give them a minute, but brake issues could definitely be a factor, so you can never count anyone out because of these brake issues. Right now, it looks like Carson Bowers is having no issues. He's running still decently fast times, 123.6s, even though the fastest time is 122.2 out of him. I would still consider this a decent lap time for an 11-lap stint. These tires degrade pretty easily, though. How long until someone comes into the pits? Who's going to try any strategy and pit early? Here's Gerard Aron. He won't do it. I know they're supposed to be happening soon because the stint is predicted to be 12 laps. Possible 13. But no one's trying. Here's Roger Ray. P12. Great performance for him. Lorenzo Log. Caldwell. Seems no one's going for it. There's Paul Jackson now battling with Sean Angel again. And Sean Angel is going to be pushed back even more, as it seems that Arndt has made up a position on Darren Weber again and starting to recover the positions he's lost. Pinocchio Young is going to successfully keep the position from Jeffrey Finguy. But this is going to open the door for teammate John Arndt to maybe slip right around Finguy. Finguy's going to slip in right behind Arndt, and they're going to now start to tandem together to maybe plot to get back around Young and go after the pack ahead. And it also seems that Fitzwater's gotten back around PJ Karenko. Because Karenko, for some reason, had a horrible lap that last time around. 125. Carson Bowers is not in. There we go. Anderson is going to try early. Aron's going to be in. Rowe, Baranowskas, Barak, Irvine, Pericles, Fitzwater. Karenko staying out. Ray, Lorenzo Log, Caldwell. Young, Arndt, Finguy, Weber, Johnson, Shepard, Scott, Jackson, Angel, Ray Hall. Oh, everyone in the back is in. As a few people stayed out. Bowers, Vincent, Karenko are the only ones who stayed out. Will anyone jump anyone on this pit stop? There goes Anderson. Very nice pit stop out of him. She's going to get a few seconds. There is Baranowskas tailing the back of Rowe now. Same with Benoit there, Irvine on Brock. Roger Ray makes up a few positions. Oh, that's because PJ Karenko just hasn't pit yet, that's why. Here is Carson Bowers. Is he in this time? Yes. Vincent. Yes. And finally, PJ Karenko. Another slow lap out of PJ Karenko. Maybe something wrong. Maybe a brake issue. Here is Carson Bowers now. He's led every lap to this point. But could Max Anderson change that? There's Roman Rahal coming out of the pits. Looks like a few people with brake issues. That's what we're talking about. People have to spend a little more time in the pits because they have special equipment to cool down the car. There is Karenko. Finally in the pits. If any problems riddle him, then Anderson will be there. There's Anderson. You saw him turning the corner. Carson Bowers is going to get out. Vincent's going to beat Anderson. Anderson, not a very good pit. Gerard Aron's out. Baranowskas is challenging Rowe. It looks like Rowe's going to get it on the outside. Brock. Then while they're being Pericles. Fitzwater, there's Karenko. He doesn't come out far behind Fitzwater this time. Roger Ray's going to slip into the 12th position. Looks like we're right back where we started. 3.5 seconds is the gap. It looks like this is going to be a very calm race to the end, as it seems Carson Bowers is just too fast for these guys to catch. They would need a problem out of him. They would need a tire to go down, but it's shown in the past the reliability of these Fitzwater cars are just impeccable. As Carson Bowers is going to prove it today, he is just too fast. There's all those people in the back. I don't think Carson Bowers is going to be giving this up today. There's 157.6, 158.3. That means a better pit stop for Carson Bowers. Max Anderson pit earlier, so he has the fresher tire, or he has the warmer tires, which means he's going to have a little more speed for the beginning part of this stint. At least until these guys get their tires warmed up. Gerard Aron, because these two were battling so hard, Gerard Aron's starting to put a little bit of a gap on them. About a 3-second gap now. Back to Rowe, but it's 8 seconds from Gerard Aron to Max Anderson, who is extremely close to Vincent now. Anderson, he's been desperate for that first career win. He wants to join the people on the all-time win list. The two people ahead are two people who have 2 wins on that all-time win list. Gerard Aron will have to wait another day. Rowe already has 2 wins, both coming at Kansas. Audrey Baranowska is brand new to the series, but Brock, 5 wins. Benoit, 1 win. Hercules, 2 wins. Fitzwater, 2 wins. Karenko, no wins. Ray, no wins. Caldwell, 2 wins. Lorenzo Log, 3 wins. Young, no wins. Finn Guy, no wins. Johnson, no wins. Shepard, 2 wins. Jackson, a win. None for Thaber, none for Stuckel, none for Paulson. 1 for Monaco, 1 for Torres. None for Johan. None for Downey, none for Thompson. None for Coulson, none for Weber. None for Angel. Angel's been dropping through this field. None for Monaco. None for Duncan. He's having a horrible day for himself. Sean Arndt had brake problems. Philip Scott had brake problems. He has 2 wins, 3 wins to his name. Ray Hall has 2 wins. He had brake problems. I mentioned it before, brake problems are going to be the downfall of a lot of people, and John Arndt seemed to be one of the victims. Philip Scott's another one of the victims of brake issues. Angel, one of the victims of brake issues. All those people who are so far back, those are all the people who got hit with brake issues. This does help Shepard, though. And it also helps Jackson, who has cracked his way into the top 20 once again. Or he was 21st last time. He's finally in the top 20. Still, battle for P5, the end of the top 5 between rookie Audrey Baranauskas and Alexander Rowe. But Rowe is just so much pressure. Brock also pretty fast behind. He could possibly catch. Last time around was a 123.5. Carson Mowers is back in the 122s. I think he's just too fast to catch. I don't think anyone's going to catch him. I think this is going to be Carson Mowers sailing to victory like it's nothing. If something were to go wrong, then it would go to this battle, which is right now for P2. But Anderson has been putting on the pressure to try to get it away. Zachary Fitzwater, after that problem earlier, right now sits P10 as Epic Motorsports still seems to be nowhere in sight, except for Nick Pericles, who sits P9 battling with Benoit Vervine for P8. William Brock P7 should remain in the points lead, possibly Carson Bowers if he's able to hold on, but yeah, I don't think there's any chance that he won't hold on. I'm sorry. Oh, Vincent running it wide. That means Anderson's going to get a little bit of momentum down the front stretch. Oh, a dive bomb. Anderson, this is a very risky move because he should know that the inside doesn't work that well. And he's going to have to let Vincent by before this next corner, which he will. He can't pass here. You can't. It's very difficult to pass around here. It's much easier to pass once you pass this corner. Here's where it gets a lot easier to pass. If he wants to make that pass, he's got to do it soon. If he wants any chance of catching his teammate and restricting Carson Mowers from getting career win number 3. So far, he has absolutely dominated this race. There's only been a few people who have done that, who have completely dominated an entire race. William Brock being one of them. But Carson Mowers, the 2 wins he has right now, he had to earn himself. He had to fight at Pensacola with everyone around him to get to the front and stay at the front. He was successful to do that, but now he's doing some other league, trying to change his ways and trying to just completely dominate this race. If his car can hold on, if he can continue to run these great laps, which are a second faster than the guys behind, if he's able to do that, then Carson Bowers is going to easily sail to his 3rd career win. As we're coming up to 4 laps to go, about halfway through this lap, Anderson has begun to back off a little bit. He needs to conserve a little bit more. Remember, he does have the older tires than everyone else. Audrey Baranowska is beginning to put on the pressure to Gerard Aron. That gap that Gerard Aron got is starting to dwindle down, as he has been in P4 since the end of lap 1, and he's had to just keep on strutting, to keep on trying to stay ahead. But Audrey Baranowska, she seems so fast today. This is the kind of speed we saw back at Portland when she was driving and replacing William Brock after his injury last season. Audrey Baranowska's had to replace him and did amazing in Portland. Got P2 and was part of the first and only ever 1-2-3 at Portland, which was Vincent, Audra, and Jackson. Vincent is in P2 right now. He won at Portland, and Jackson is still fighting to stay in the top 20. Jackson's career just is not what it used to be. Caldwell also trying to get around PJ Karenko, who is having another good day for himself. Here's William Brock, who is pulling 123 zeros. Caldwell recently pulled the second fast lap. I don't know when that was, but Caldwell seems very fast, I guess. Fitzwater pulls a 122.8. He's catching up to the back of Pericles. He's going to try to get that position back. Audrey Baranowska is still 0.5 faster than Gerard Aron. Oh, they're starting to try to match now. But it's way too far. They can't catch Carson Bowers. They would need Carson Bowers to make an absolutely ginormous mistake, which again, I highly doubt, because it does not seem that he's having brake issues. It does not seem that his tires are wearing down more than usual. He has no sign of stopping. So it looks like this battle will just stay contained between them. Even though they're actually starting to turn laps that are faster than Carson Bowers, it's only by a few tenths. 3 laps with a few tenths per lap is not going to be anywhere near enough to catch Carson Bowers. Here's Max Anderson closing on Vincent now. He knows the system. Stay behind until this section. This could be the place where he takes this position. Gets a 1-2 for Fitzwater Australia. Or will WBM be able to keep this going? So far, WBM has had a podium. If he gets this, pulls this off, you will make WBM have a podium in both races so far. But Fitzwater Australia will absolutely dominate. Carson Bowers and Adam Vincent, both American drivers. Anderson, the British driver, the only British driver in the field. There's only ever been 2 British drivers in the series, which is Max Anderson and Kalen Fallon, who drove for Clever House Racing back in Mid-Ohio Season 1. As you can see, though, right here is Audrey Baranowska's battling with Gerard Aron for P4. Audra just does not have the speed to be able to get past. Carson Bowers once again improving. 2 laps to go. It seems that this race, from the start to the end, it's already over. It's going to be a battle for P2, and we hope to see a great battle for P2. But right now, Carson Bowers is going to absolutely dominate in New Jersey. Vincent looks like he's going to have to fight off Anderson, but with the speed that Anderson's showing, it looks like he's not going to be able to get past Vincent by the end. He's getting close, but he just does not have the speed to get around him. Gerard Aron remains P4. Audra's had to back off. She pushed so hard that her tires are starting to degrade. So now she doesn't have the tires to get past Gerard Aron, and Alexander Rowe is beginning to catch back up, which is a massive problem for Audrey Baranowska. Losing those tires was not a good idea. 1 lap to go for Carson Bowers, and no one is in sight. The others are just barely within 7 seconds. Only Vincent is within 7 seconds. This match is over. Arndt right now last place after a great performance last week. Horrible performance today because of brake issues, but no issues for Carson Bowers. He already has 2 wins to his name. The only 2 people to get a win under Fitzwater Australia is himself and the team owner and reigning champion Zachary Fitzwater Sr. And Carson Bowers is going to prove why he deserves to remain on this team for another season, because he has absolutely dominated this race start to finish. He got off the start good, led lap 1, and from lap 1 he led every single lap of this race. And even though the others have been trying, they will not get close enough. Through the last chicane and into the last corner, Carson Bowers is going to pick up career win number 3 and his first of the season. He wins in New Jersey. In the last corner, Vincent is going to be able to hold off Anderson for second. Anderson, a good podium finish for himself. And Gerard Aron will hold off on Bernasquez for his best finish in P4. Audrey Bernasquez, the rookie, getting her second ever podium. Or not podium, second ever top 5. The other one coming at Portland last season when taking over Brock's car. Rowe, P6. Brock, the points leader, maybe not for long now with Carson Bowers' amazing performance in P7. Benoit there being in 8th. Fitzwater was able to get past Pericles, and it was a very close battle between them at the finish. Very nice job out of everyone. But Carson Bowers is your winner today, as career win number 3 going to his name. What an incredible driver. As Fitzwater Australia has got to be proud of, as they've probably taken Constructors' Points lead with all 3 of their drivers finishing within the top 10 and Epic Motorsports being nowhere. Congratulations, Carson Bowers. Let's go look at your final finishing results here at New Jersey. So it's Carson Bowers picking up career win number 3 with Adam Vincent taking second place. Very nice performance. Another great finish for Adam Vincent through his career. Max Anderson takes 3rd. Gerard Aron, even though he was almost 10 seconds behind Anderson, he's going to finish P4. Andre Baranowski's rounding out the top 5. Then it's Rowe, Brock, Benoit Lervine, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., and Nick Pericles rounding out the top 10. Jackson was able to hold on to a top 20 finish. He really needs to pick it up if he wants any chance of this championship. Duncan and Arndt, horrible day for them because of brake issues. All these people back here you see over a minute behind. These are the people who had their brake issues, who just could not recover from them, which sucks for them. Highest rank D, Roger Ray, P14, which is the highest so far this season that a rank D is finished, as Cordell Paulson finished in 17th last time. He's going to be the 3rd highest rank D behind Stu Cole. She had a nice day, and obviously Roger Ray. Next time we will be... Oh, God. I don't even remember where we're going, being perfectly honest. I haven't remembered this whole time because I've been focusing on getting New Jersey up and running. But we'll see you guys. Round 3, hopefully exciting. I think Carson Bowers should be your points leader going out of this race. This should be his first time ever holding the points lead in his career, as I do think he deserves that points lead after such a dominating day for himself. Congratulations, Carson Bowers and Fitzwater Australia Racing. We will see you guys at round 3.